Hi guys, I just wanted to get on and talk to you for a minute. I went to this last week. I was what's called Baker Acted in Florida. I don't know if it's everywhere or just in Florida, but it's like you go in, the cops put you into a mental hospital if they think that you're like a threat to yourself or to someone else. So I was talking to a cop the other day. He pulls up in front of the library. I was sitting there at night. Or no, it was daytime actually, and there was nobody there. It was closed. It was the first. And so I was sitting way back where he couldn't even see me, and nobody was even there. So he pulls up to the library, and I went out to talk to him because I thought he was one of the people that they keep sending to talk to me. And I figured maybe he had his car, who's going to talk about his car being a UFO, and I was going to get to put it on tape. But anyway, so I go out there, and I started talking to him, and I was really bored. I was waiting for this guy to come pick me up for a date, and he was late, and so I was just like kind of pissed off and stuff. And I go out, and I'm like talking to him and trying to get him to tell me about his spaceship, and he's like just a little punk, a young guy, and he's like, no, this is not a spaceship, and he just, he was pissed at me for even asking him. And so he wasn't playing into any of it. Like, he definitely is not woke. Either that or he's playing some part, but I started kind of being a smart mouth as I do sometimes, haha. And he ended up Baker acting me because I told him that my boyfriend is an alien, and that I believe he's in outer space because he asked me, like, where is he and stuff. So anyway, I went into this mental hospital, and I was there for 8 days. They would let people out every day that were not even like hardly functioning because they had them on so much medication, and I wouldn't take hardly anything. I took one thing so that they would just not say that I'm refusing medication and keep me longer. I'm not taking it now, but anyway, I was in there and I just saw all these people that they totally over-medicate them to the point where they can't even talk. They're slurring their words and they can't remember anything. They aren't enunciating anything, and it's just like really sad. It's like really, really sad. And these people, when I sit down and talk to them, they're really smart, like super smart. Those intellectual people and those reflective people and stuff like that. When they actually sit and talk, and I make them think, and I do what I do, like grilling them, kind of like I do. And so then they'd go and take their medication, and then they'd dumb them way down again and stuff. And then they'll take people and they'll like. This one guy got thrown into a wall. He was in a wheelchair, and this big, huge black dude, like the size of a tree trunk, like he was like Samson in the Bible or something. He was totally unmovable. He ends up grabbing this guy in a wheelchair. He was standing in line. He's normally in a wheelchair because he can't really walk. And he was standing in line for his medication, and this big black lady walks up and shoves his face into the wall, like right up against the wall, and just humiliating him, this old guy, and twisting his arm behind his back, and he's screaming and screaming and screaming. And then the big black guy, tree trunk black guy, came up, and they're both just like, he goes, he just came in my room and told me he was going to kick my ass. I swear he did. And everybody's just silent watching and just like didn't know what to do. And I said, I believe you, really loud. So they turned around and they said, get out of here, go back to your room, or not go back to your room. They said, I don't know what they said. They just said, get out of here. Stop watching and all this. Meanwhile, everybody in the whole hospital is standing in line watching, but they want me to leave because I was willing to speak up. And I said, no, I'm going to sit here and watch you. And so after they went and threw him in his room, and I watched what room he was in and got his name and everything, they said, we're gonna put you in the quiet room for acting like that. You need some quiet time because you have a problem. I'm like, why do I have a problem? Because I spoke up about the guy. And they're like, get in there, and they're kind of like acting like they're going to push me and stuff. And I go, what are you going to do, start pushing me around and shoving me around if I don't go? And they said, get in there, and they just kept nudging me, and the guy's like, you fucking bitch, get in there, you fucking cunt. He kept saying that to me. And so finally I got up in their faces, and I said, guess what, bitches? I'm going to be here for a long time watching what you do. Because I had been telling them that I wanted to leave. So I started acting like a nut case instead of acting like a normal person so I could leave. But anyway, coincidentally, they discharged me 2 days later in the morning. But not the next day, but the following day in the morning. But so he goes and put me in the room, and there's this big steel door on it, and he acts like he's gonna just slam it on me to where I flinch. This gigantic black guy that just kill me with one punch, and it's like, why are you doing this? But they do all kinds of things in there, and I was asking people what their blood type was, and they're so drugged up and they're, quote, mentally ill, which, I mean, they are, like in our definition of mentally ill. But I asked them, like, what their blood type was, and almost all of them were O positive, O negative. So there's something about that blood type. Somebody said that, I think it was O positive, that they can give blood to anyone. So that was probably, but I read somewhere, I think it might have been in the Phil Schneider thing, or maybe you heard in the Phil Schneider thing, that the the O blood type is really, really something that the aliens find desirable. So anyway, that's it, I guess. I mean, there was a bunch of other stuff going on there, and I actually met a friend there. She is 31 years old, and she's a lawyer that owns her own practice. She's been in practice for 6 years, so she's one of my new BFFs. And we're going to get together and hang out and stuff. But she said she would do the cases pro bono that we had in there. So we came up with stuff, and I took notes on different people and their names and stuff. She told a couple of them that she would represent them, so they know it too. So that's really neat. Because one of the reasons I wasn't afraid to be Baker acted is because I was in a mental hospital last year when I had a tumor removed, and I had like a total chemical imbalance and hormonal imbalance. It was a uterine fibroid. I went into like this major manic state and just kind of freaked out. I mean, I ended up just kind of leaving my job. I lost my job. I've never lost a job. I got fired, basically. They asked me to leave, and I was the executive assistant with the highest ratings that I could get, And a series of events, unfortunate events happened, and I ended up losing everything. Now I'm back on track, and everything's doing great. I mean, but that's because I'm woke, and I understand what's going on, and I understand that God is all good, and we're all light, and we're all good and inside if we just choose truth and love and light, which we all eventually will. But I don't know. I guess I just wanted to let you know that. And I just wanted to say that. So anyway, they Baker acted me, and I wasn't afraid of that happening. I kind of was thinking, well, maybe he's going to Baker act me because I'm being such a smartass, the cop. And plus, I wanted to be in the handcuffs. But I wanted to go in there and see all the stuff that they did, because they were doing that kind of stuff at the other hospital I was in last year, and I just couldn't even stand it. I mean, I was so pissed off that I ended up staying there 11 days. I wouldn't take any medicine at all. I was like, no, I'm not taking any medicine at all. And finally, I took it the day before they let me leave the following day. They said it started working in one day, so they were going to let me go home. So there's a lot of funny business going on in those mental hospitals. And I'm not positive, you guys know better than I do, but I'm pretty sure they're owned by the government. I mean, St. Anthony's was the name of this hospital that the mental ward was in. And I don't know about hospitals. I think they're maybe owned by the government. You guys could know better than I do. I should have probably researched that before I started talking on here right now, but I didn't really. I just knew that it's some forces that are, evil forces that are working against people, good people, and people specifically with the O blood type. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.